Okay, so today we're gonna learn about new disease, that's Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease. In general, it is otherwise also known as Parkinsonism. Okay, basically it's a neurological disorder. Let me come to this first. Basically, it's a neurological disorder, and uh, in the in case of a neurological disorder, basically it comes under a subcategory that is known as the extrapyramidal neurological disorder. Okay, so now I have written here over here that's the neurological disorder. Now we'll write here that's the extrapyramidal neurological disorder. Okay, now what does exactly this term mean? Now, extrapyramidal features, now it's a very common term that you're gonna encounter in your study of neurology, like when you try to elicit the Babinski sign or any kind of motor movement. So any kind of lesion in that tract can give rise to various signs and symptoms in case of this disease. So basically, extrapyramidal feature is characterized by four clinical features. That is, first is known as the tremor क्या होता है ना, हाथ, that's the shaking of hands. Shaking of hands is known as the tremor. Now this, in case of Parkinsonism, mostly we get to see that this tremor is worst at night. And okay, this is the one feature you got to remember, that's the tremor is worse at night. Secondly, you get to see the hypertonia. Now what's known as hypertonia? Now hypertonia, okay, is the feature of Parkinson's disease. Now hypertonia is a combination of basically it's a combination rigidity plus tremor. Now in case of CNS examination, motor examination is a very important part. Now there you test for the rigidity by generally flexing of your hand. By flexing the hand, you test for the rigidity at the elbow joint, and in case of the leg, you test for the rigidity by flexing the leg at the level of this knee joint, right? And you also feel for the tone, whether it's hypertonia or it's hypotonia. Hypotonia, what generally don't feel the rigidity. In general, you don't feel it. Okay, so next you come to the third feature in the extrapyramidal feature, that's the bradykinesia. Now what does bradykinesia mean? This refers to slow movements, or in other words, you can refer to as difficulty in initiating movement. It happens slowly, okay, slowly. Now lastly, we come to the last feature, that's the gait. Now in case of gait, there is a disturbances, okay, disturbances in gait, or you can say abnormal gait. Now what does gait refer to? Gait refers to the pattern of walking. How does the patient walk? That's known as gait. Now regarding the details of the gait, that you will be reading in your orthopedics. Okay, now this is the four clinical features of Parkinson disease. Now let us come to the causes. Why does this happen? Causes of it. Causes, basically it occurs due to loss of dopamine. This is the chief neurotransmitter. Now we know that dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is excitatory in nature, And on the other hand, we have another neurotransmitter that is known as the GABA. GABA is inhibitory in nature. Dopamine is something, it excites the body, or it increases the tone, while on the other hand, GABA has a depressive effect on the body. So in case of this group of drugs called as benzodiazepines, what it does is it acts on the same receptors as that of GABA, and what it does is it does the inhibition so that the person feels sedation, and as a result there is a loss of excitatory nature, and also the person tends to sleep. Okay, first is a loss of dopamine, and also along with loss of dopamine, we have loss of dopaminergic neurons. Where? In substantia nigra. Loss of dopaminergic neurons in the substantia nigra. And if you examine the basal ganglia, what the findings you find? That's the presence of Lewy bodies. Now I've told you the extrapyramidal features, that's the tremor, hypertonia, bradykinesia, and the gait disturbances. Now let's come to the clinical features. Now in the clinical features, first of all, that's the extrapyramidal features. We'll mention that first. So to recall the features, they are the tremor, hypertonia, then we have the bradykinesia, that is the slowed movements. Lastly, we have the gait disturbances, that's the pattern of walking. There is disturbance in the pattern of walking. So generally the person has a masked face appearance, as the expressionless face. There is no expression basically. Now these are the extrapyramidal features that come under one category. Now we go, that's the autonomic dysfunction. Now in autonomic dysfunction, this is a general term. Now under that we have we have numerous things. First is the postural hypotension, then we have the constipation, then we have urinary disturbances. Now under urinary disturbances, what do we have? That's the urgency or hesitancy, urgency and hesitancy. And under autonomic dysfunction, what else do we have? We have the dribbling of saliva, that's the saliva tends to come out of the mouth without your control. We have sleep disturbances, and also there will be a feature of reduced sense of smell. This is the sensory component, reduced sense of smell, and sometimes it can also progress to anosmia. Anosmia is basically the absence of smell. The person won't be able to smell anything at all. So I have told you the extrapyramidal features, then I have told you the autonomic dysfunction. Now let's come to the psychiatric features. Psychiatric features under Parkinson's disease, what do we have? We have depression, we have dementia. Dementia is the forgetfulness. Dementia or forgetfulness. Generally, as age progresses, dementia becomes more prominent. And lastly, we have the psychosis. Okay, psychosis. Now basically the features of Parkinsonism is more prominent on one side, so I'll write over here, it's more prominent on one side. So under diagnosis, so how do you diagnose this Parkinson's disease? First of all, you observe for the clinical features, and when you're sitting in an OPD, when you see a patient, they come towards you, they enter your clinic. First of all, you'll observe for this thing, that's the masked face appearance. Okay, basically Basically, masked face appearance means expressionless face, no expressions. They won't be able to smile, they won't be able to change their, able to use the facial muscles and all, no expressions. Then rigidity will be there, rigidity or the tone disturbances that I have told you under the clinical features, rigidity, hypertonia, and also forward bending. This is one important feature, forward bending of the patient. मतलब झुक कर चलते हैं वो लोग, forward bending of the patient. Okay, forward bending of the patient, yes, I've told you. So this is the OPD findings. These are the OPD findings that when you observe a patient, they present you with these clinical features. Now, like every other neurological disorder, Parkinsonism is no exception. So for investigations, what are the investigations you will be ordering for Parkinsonism? Under investigations, first of all, neuroimaging is a must. And under neuroimaging, what do we do? First is the CT scan and the MRI. CT scan and MRI, their findings, and also you look for this Lewy bodies. Yeah, Lewy bodies that you find generally on autopsy. So these are the investigative findings that you corroborate with these your clinical features and investigative findings. These, when you corroborate it, then you reached upon a diagnosis. This is how medical conditions are treated. Okay, so you have the extrapyramidal features, you have the masked face appearance, you have the gait disturbances, you have the rigidity, you have the hypertonia, you have the forward bending of the patient, and upon investigation you do a CT scan or an MRI, and on autopsy you find the Lewy bodies. Now based on these findings, now you reach upon a conclusion that this is a case of Parkinson's disease. Now the incidence rate. Incidence is the occurrence of a disease that will be reading in your community medicine in elderly people, mostly in elderly people, and persons having other morbidities. Okay, persons having other morbidities like diabetes or hypertension. So these are the features, any other comorbidities they are associated with. So generally features are associated, these people generally they associated, the incidence is more. Okay, so now apart from incidence, now we come towards the management. How do you manage a case of Parkinson's disease? First of all, we know that there is a loss of dopamine, so what will be administering as the levodopa or L-dopa. Levodopa. Now you must remember that levodopa is the precursor form of dopamine. Now once you give levodopa for Parkinsonism, it is taken up by the neurons. Now inside the neurons, they get converted into the dopamine. Dopamine as such is not. So management, how will you manage it? So I've told you the concept of L-dopa, levodopa. Okay, apart from that, dyskinesia. Now I've told about dyskinesia. So for that, a drug is given, amantadine. Amantadine is given. It is used for dyskinesias in later episodes of Parkinson's disease. Late episodes of Parkinson's disease. Then we should be given is MAO inhibitors, MAO-B inhibitors. Okay. Now what does MAO stands for? I guess the monoamine oxidase, B inhibitors. Now they are given as an alternative to dopamine agonists in early Parkinson's disease. And also this much only. Okay, see, these are the group of drugs that are used in the management of Parkinson's disease. So this was for today. So I hope Dr. Samiksha, you got a basic understanding of what's Parkinsonism, and I hope I can help clear your doubts in future as well. Thank you so much.